Good morning, students. Welcome to another science video. Today we'll start chapter 10, Air and Water. What is air? Yes, air is a mixture of gases. Now, can you name different gases present in the air? Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, water vapors are the various gases which are present in the air. Now, why are these gases important? Have you ever wondered? Now, nitrogen, which is the most abundant gas, it does not support burning, and its presence in the air keep the process of burning under control. Without nitrogen, even small fire would become uncontrollable. The next is oxygen. 21% of oxygen is present in the air and it is essential for our survival. Oxygen is also needed for burning. There are certain other gases also present which are only 1%, like carbon dioxide, which is required by plants to make their food, and argon, which is used in making light bulbs and fluorescent tubes. So you know and you can see in the picture the composition of the air. Now see this picture, children. This is the layer of air around the earth. Can you tell me what do we call the layer of air that surrounds the earth? Now, these are various layers. There are 5 layers around the earth. What do we call them? Yes, we call them the atmosphere. The atmosphere is the layer of gases that surrounds the earth. The atmosphere can be divided into 5 layers and it is the protective boundary between the earth and the space. It provides the conditions necessary for life. It holds the heat and protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays. Now see in this picture, the 5 layers of atmosphere are given. And remember what all things are present in different layers. Now let's start discussing these layers. Starting from the bottom, the first layer is troposphere, the second is stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Let us discuss them in detail. Troposphere, it contains the air that we breathe. All weather changes takes place here. Next is stratosphere. It contains the ozone layer which trap the harmful UV rays. Jet planes fly here. The next layer is mesosphere. Meteors and other stones from space burn up in this layer and do not reach the earth. The fourth layer is thermosphere. Temperature may reach up to 2000 degrees Celsius and the space shuttles orbit in this layer. The last layer is exosphere. It contains the least amount of air. Now next we'll talk about properties of air. You know all these properties already, that air take up space, air has pressure, and you also know that moving air is called wind. We have also discussed that things that fly with the help of air. And you know very well that air we breathe is called oxygen. Now we'll discuss other properties of air. First property, air occupies space. How do you prove it? If we take a balloon and blow air into it, we find that its size increases. This shows that air occupies space. There are several other experiments which we'll discuss in this video to prove that air occupies space. Now see this experiment. If you put the bottle in the water container without tilting it, then air will not enter the bottle. If you tilt a little, then the bubbles of air will come out and water will start moving inside the bottle. This experiment shows that air occupies space. Another experiment is you can take a cotton wool in a glass and then put the glass in the container filled with water. The cotton wool will not become wet because air will not allow water to go in. If you tilt a little, then bubbles will come out. It means air comes out and water will go inside and cotton will become wet. Next is air also has weight. The weight of air pushes down on everything around us in all the direction. This is called air pressure. Now, how will you prove that air exerts pressure? There's a small experiment which we can do to find out that air exerts pressure. Now, take one cardboard, take a glass filled with water. Now, move it upside down. You will find that the cardboard does not fall down and water is not spilled. Now, the weight of the water is balanced by the atmospheric pressure. So this experiment shows us that air exerts atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure acting in the upward direction balances the downward force of the water acting on the cardboard. Hence the cardboard remain in its position and the water is not spilled. Children, try and do this experiment on your own to understand how atmospheric pressure works. Now next is the uses of air pressure. Drinking through a straw, filling up a syringe, filling up a dropper. All these are the uses of air pressure. We will discuss them one by one. Now first let us see this. Now the child is drinking water. When he sucks through the straw, the pressure inside the straw is lower and atmospheric pressure is higher. Now the air will move from higher pressure to lower pressure, and along with the air, the liquid will also travel in the straw. You can see in this picture also that the atmospheric pressure is more and the pressure inside the straw is less. So it moves from higher pressure to lower pressure, and that's why the liquid travels from the container in our mouth. This is the daily life use of atmospheric pressure. Very important. Now next is how we fill medicines in a syringe. Now you know that syringes have a piston. When you pull the piston, air pressure inside the syringe reduces and atmospheric pressure is more. Now the liquid, as it is having more atmospheric pressure, will move from the container into the syringe. When the piston is pulled up, the atmospheric pressure inside the cylinder will decrease. The atmospheric pressure outside pushes the liquid up into the syringe. You can understand this from this diagram. This is another important use of atmospheric pressure. Should always remember that it always travels from higher pressure to lower pressure. Now identify this. This is a dropper. You might have seen many times. We fill ink with it or we use some droppers and medicines also. How does the medicine get filled in the dropper? Yes, think about it. Let us discuss. When you press the rubber bulb, the atmospheric pressure is reduced and outside the pressure is more. So, the liquid will go from higher pressure to lower pressure and it will get filled inside the dropper. This is another use of air pressure. I hope you have understood. Let's summarize. Today we have studied air is a mixture of gases. Air contains 78% of nitrogen and 21% of oxygen. The thick layer of air that surrounds the earth is called atmosphere. And properties of air: air has weight, air occupies space, and it exerts pressure. Now children, revise this, read the book thoroughly. Thank you for listening and I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you very much.